When people talk about big dreams, they often speak in metaphors. They say, reach for the stars, or change the world. But very rarely does someone take those words literally. This is the story of a man who did, before the rockets, before the electric cars, before the headlines and controversies. There was a quiet, curious boy growing up in Pretoria, South Africa. His name was Elon Musk. He was born in 1971, in a world that looked very different from today's hyper-connected age. There was no internet as we know it, no smartphones, no social media. Technology was something you read about in books or saw in science fiction films. And for young Elon, science fiction wasn't just entertainment. It was a blueprint. As a child, he was intensely introverted. He read constantly, sometimes up to 10 hours a day. Fantasy novels, science fiction, encyclopedias, anything he could get his hands on. Stories like The Lord of the Rings and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy didn't just entertain him, they shaped how he saw the future. He began to believe that humanity's destiny wasn't limited to Earth. School wasn't easy for him. He was smaller than many of his classmates and often bullied. But instead of breaking him, those experiences seemed to harden his focus. While other kids were playing sports, Elon was thinking about computers, space, and energy. At age 12, he taught himself programming and created a simple video game called Blaster. He sold it for about $500, a small but symbolic moment. It was proof that ideas in his mind could become real things in the world, but South Africa felt limiting. He dreamed of bigger opportunities. At 17, he moved to Canada, seeking a path to the United States, the center of technological innovation. He worked odd jobs to survive, including cleaning boiler rooms and cutting lumber. There was no glamour in those early days, just persistence. Eventually, he made his way to the United States and enrolled at the University of Pennsylvania. There, he studied physics and economics, two fields that would later define his career. Physics taught him to think from first principles, to break problems down to their fundamental truths. Economics helped him understand markets and systems. This combination, deep technical understanding plus business strategy, would become his signature approach. In the mid-1990s, the internet was just beginning to transform the world. Most people didn't yet grasp its potential. But Elon saw it as a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Along with his brother Kimball, he started a company called Zip2. It provided online business directories and maps for newspapers, an idea that sounds simple now but was revolutionary at the time. They worked out of a small office, sleeping on couches and showering at a local YMCA. For years, they lived on the edge of failure. But persistence paid off. In 1999, Compaq acquired Zip2 for nearly $300 million. Elon, still in his 20s, suddenly had millions of dollars. Many people would have stopped there. They would have celebrated their success, bought a house, and enjoyed a comfortable life. But for Elon, this was just the beginning. His next venture was X.com, an online financial services company. It later became what we now know as PayPal. The idea of transferring money online was radical and risky at the time. Trusting the internet with your finances felt dangerous. But Elon believed that digital payments would become essential in a globalized world. The company faced internal conflicts, technical challenges, and fierce competition. Eventually, after leadership changes and a merger, PayPal was sold to eBay in 2002 for $1.5 billion in stock. Elon walked away with over $100 million. Again, he could have retired. Instead, he did something that shocked even his closest friends. He invested almost all of his money into three industries that most experts considered nearly impossible to disrupt: space, automotive, and energy. In 2002, he founded SpaceX. At the time, the idea of a private company building rockets sounded absurd. Space exploration was the domain of governments and massive defense contractors. But Elon believed rockets were too expensive. He reasoned that if costs could be reduced, humanity could become a multiplanetary species. The early years of SpaceX were brutal. The first 3 rocket launches failed. Each explosion wasn't just a technical setback, it was a financial and emotional blow. By 2008, the company was on the brink of collapse. Elon had poured nearly all his remaining funds into keeping it alive. That same year, another company he had invested in was also struggling, Tesla Incorporated. Tesla's mission was to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. At the time, electric cars were seen as slow, unattractive, and impractical. Gasoline dominated the market. Major automakers had little interest in change. Tesla aimed to prove that electric cars could be fast, beautiful, and desirable. The first model, the Roadster, showed promise but faced production delays and cost overruns. By 2008, Tesla was nearly bankrupt too. Imagine the pressure. Two companies on the verge of failure. Personal wealth evaporating. Critics predicting collapse. Many would have walked away. Elon doubled down. In December 2008, SpaceX successfully launched its fourth Falcon 9 rocket into orbit. Shortly afterward, NASA awarded SpaceX a contract worth over $1.5 billion to deliver cargo to the International Space Station. It was a turning point. Survival turned into momentum. Tesla also secured critical funding around the same time. The company eventually launched the Model S, a sleek electric sedan that stunned the automotive world. It wasn't just an eco-friendly car, it was one of the fastest and most technologically advanced vehicles on the road. Over the next decade, SpaceX achieved milestones that once seemed impossible. It developed reusable rockets, landing them vertically back on Earth. This innovation dramatically reduced the cost of space travel. Rockets that were once discarded after a single use could now fly again. The company launched the Falcon 9 and later the powerful Falcon Heavy. It began sending astronauts to the International Space Station, marking the first time a private company carried humans into orbit. SpaceX also developed Starlink, a satellite network designed to provide global internet coverage, especially in remote areas. Meanwhile, Tesla expanded its lineup with the Model X, Model 3, and Model Y. The Model 3, in particular, aimed to make electric vehicles accessible to the mass market. Production challenges nearly derailed the company. Elon famously described that period as production hell. He reportedly slept on the factory floor to oversee operations. Beyond cars and rockets, Elon also became involved in other ambitious projects. He co-founded OpenAI with the goal of promoting safe and beneficial artificial intelligence. He launched Neuralink to explore direct communication between the human brain and computers. He started the Boring Company to address urban traffic through underground transportation systems. Each project shared a common theme: solving large-scale problems that affect humanity's future. Sustainable energy. Interplanetary survival. Artificial intelligence safety. Brain-machine interfaces. Infrastructure innovation. But the story of Elon Musk is not a simple hero narrative. It is complex and controversial. His bold statements on social media have often sparked public debate. His leadership style has been described as demanding and intense. Some admire his relentless work ethic, others criticize his management approach. In 2022, Elon made another unexpected move by acquiring Twitter, which he later rebranded as X. The acquisition sparked global discussion about free speech, content moderation, and the future of social media platforms. Supporters argued that he was defending open dialogue. Critics questioned his decisions and the platform's direction. Regardless of perspective, the move reinforced one thing: Elon Musk does not think small. What truly sets him apart is his first principles thinking. Instead of asking, "How is this usually done?" he asks, "What are the fundamental laws of physics and economics that apply here?" By breaking problems down to basics, he seeks unconventional solutions. Take rockets, for example. Instead of accepting that they are expensive because that's how they've always been built, he calculated the raw material costs and realized they were only a fraction of the final price. That gap represented opportunity. The same logic applied to batteries. If battery costs could be reduced, electric cars could compete directly with gasoline vehicles. Tesla invested heavily in battery technology and large-scale manufacturing, including gigafactories around the world. Elon often speaks about existential risks. He believes humanity faces serious long-term threats, including climate change and the potential dangers of unregulated artificial intelligence. His ventures are, in his view, attempts to reduce those risks. SpaceX aims to make life multiplanetary, providing a backup for civilization. Tesla promotes renewable energy and electric transportation to reduce carbon emissions. Neuralink explores medical breakthroughs for neurological conditions. OpenAI was founded to encourage safe AI development. Whether one agrees with his methods or not, it is difficult to deny the scale of his ambition. There is also a deeply personal dimension to his journey. Elon has spoken about the emotional toll of building companies on the edge of failure. He has described periods of intense stress and isolation. Success, in his case, did not come from comfort. It came from risk.